Welcome to episode 4 of the Ben Briggs podcast. It is Saturday, the 18th of May, FA Cup final day, people. Love it. FA Cup final day. The Premier Cup in English football, a more eventful history than Bill Cosby's fingers. It's FA Cup final day. I love it. Love everything about the FA Cup. Absolutely love the FA Cup. And today's game, Watford against Man City at Wembley, was a bit, well, not exactly a classic, was it? It was a bit of a rout, to be perfectly honest. I watched it on the old BBC. Best coverage, the old BBC. Can't beat it. Can't beat it at all. Love everything about FA Cup final day, man. I get so excited about it. Even if my team, Liverpool, are not in the final, I just love the build-up and just watching everything building up to the actual game. Absolutely love it. I always go, if my team's not playing, if Liverpool are not playing, I always go for the underdog. So I was supporting Watford today, who were a vast underdog against Manchester City, even though Man City won the Premier League and Watford finished 11th. Which seems, hey, Ben, they can't be that much of an underdog, surely. They fucking are. Because the Premier League is like anything else. There's just a massive gulf between the top few teams and then the rest. It's like fucking Formula One. Like Man City, I think, they finished on 98 points, I think. Something like that. And Watford finished on 50. 50 fucking points. Halfway. Half as many points as what Man City did. So I supported Watford today. All up for it. Got really into it. Was really supporting them. And then they got absolutely dicked 6-0. About 2-0 in, I started... my support was wavering for Watford. About 2-0 down. I think Watford had an early chance in the first 5 minutes, and that was it. And then it was just an onslaught from Man City from that point. But I do love everything about the FA Cup. I love it. I love it when the old guys come out, bringing out the trophy. The old players who nobody fucking knows, by the way. They're just there. At some point in the past of that club, they've done something. No, none of the fans know who they are. And they're followed by the weird fucking people who run the FA. Those weird old guys who have clearly just come from some sort of Roman orgy where they're dressed as goats. And they've sacrificed a bull boy or something like that. And they come out as well, just to get a little bit of credit. Get on the TV. Show their face and just to show that they're still in charge of the Football Association. So I watched that today, which was enjoyable, but fucking... it just turned into a rout in the end. It was embarrassing a little bit. I think even the Man City players and the Man City manager was just like thinking, oh, fuck me, man. This is, I think it was like they've equaled the biggest win in FA Cup history today. 6-0. Fucking hell. It was an absolute hammering. And I felt bad for Watford. All the Watford supporters out there, I feel bad for you, man. But you did well getting there. You did well getting to the final, but fucking hell. You just got absolutely obliterated. But I think the whole country was supporting Watford. If you weren't a Man City fan and you supported Man City today, you're a fucking arsehole. You should be supporting the underdog. That's what we do in England, isn't it? We support the underdog until they get a little bit too big for their boots, and then we like to take them down. That's what we do. Oh, you're doing really well. Okay, you're getting a bit carried away now. Let's besmirch your image in the press. Let's do that. I did notice a few things about the game. Prince William before the game. They did an interview with Prince William because he's like, I don't know, some sort of like ambassador for the for the SS. I nearly said then. That's not probably far off. To be honest, a couple of generations ago in the old Royals, probably was an ambassador for the SS, but is an ambassador for the FA. And they interviewed him a little bit. And then they started talking about, they didn't ask him about cheating on his wife or anything like that. He just started talking about mental health. That's it. The old bald-looking prince. He looks weirdly like Princess Diana, by the way. It's fucking weird. It's like they've cloned Princess Diana. And then just like, he's just a bald. That's what he is. He's just a bald Princess Diana. It's fucking weird. He looks like Princess Diana if she was getting chemotherapy. That's what he looks like. But he was on there talking about mental health. Oh, God, man. I mean, yeah, talk about it. Who's not talking about it, first of all? Everyone's talking about it. I mean, fair enough, we've got to talk about it, and it seems to help, although I don't think it does help. I don't know. I'm not a trained mental health professional, people. I'm just, like, spouting into a microphone random thoughts. But he started talking about how mental health is important. Hey, William, trying to enjoy the FA Cup final, son. You know what I mean? I don't want to think about that. You know, I'm trying to enjoy the football without thinking about... And he mentioned, like, I'm 42. He mentioned, like, the biggest killer of men, 45 years and under. I've got 3 years left, William. And I can buy paracetamol again. I can be trusted with a fucking rope in my house. Give me that, yeah? Just let me watch the fucking football. That's all I want to do. I'm trying to enjoy the footy, not thinking about my impending suicide, you privileged cunt. I noticed they didn't ask him about, like, there has been allegations as well. Old William. Oh, Prince William. Naughty Willie, apparently. Like, there's been stuff all over Twitter and that sort of thing. How he's been pushing the little royal penis into something else. Allegedly. I'm not saying it's been confirmed, but it's on Twitter. Whether that is confirmed these days or not, I don't know. I don't know about that. But that's what happens, innit? He's got a super hot wife, like in Kate. That Kate Middleton. Super hot wife. And you just get used to it. You know. She's super hot wife. Absolutely super hot. Not opened a trap like her mother-in-law did either. She's learned from Diana. She's learned to fucking... She's seen what's happened there when somebody opens their trap and she's shut her mouth. Isn't she? Super hot, shut her mouth, and he's still possibly, allegedly, let's use that word, allegedly, being cheated on. Men will do anything, wouldn't they? We are the worst species. We're the worst part of this species. Men, isn't it? You know, but she might have been moaning at him. You never know what happens behind the scenes. She might be in his ear all the time, and he's just thought, oh, fuck it. I'll go out there and I'll just bang anything. She's just in his ear. I'm in the castle all day, supervising the nannies who look after our kids. You're out all the time, William, trying to make it look as though the country needs you. I get that, yeah, I get that. And when you're not doing that, you're thinking at charitable causes that can make you look good in the press. But sometimes, William, sometimes I just like to be made to feel like a princess. I know I am one, but sometimes I don't feel like one. And William's just fucked off with that and just gone out and fucked somebody else. Good old boy. Good old boy. That's what we do, I suppose. Even if you've got a super hot girl like that, you still go out there and do it. Not everybody. Not everybody. But, like, even that, it goes to the heads, doesn't it? You know, if you're a prince of England as well, you know, like you're a prince of the British realm, the what's left of the British Empire. Not that there's much of it left. You could have anything, can't you? And even a super hot woman like that, you just think, fuck it, I'll get somebody else. Just have something else for a change. Jesus, that's it. Talking of suicide, as I was just then, the old Jeremy Kyle show, man. It's over. It's fucking over. The show that brought us a millionaire who looks like a fucking vulture that's been forced to wear a three-piece suit from Tesco's while he picks bones from the carcasses of poor people. It's over, people. It is over. It's been cancelled. The old Jeremy Kyle show is dead. He is an ex-vulture. And not too soon either, to be fair. Fucking hell, that programme. Jesus. If you've never watched it, if you've never watched the Jeremy Kyle show, you've clearly got a job in the day. You clearly have better things to do with your life. But if you've never watched it, I'll explain it a little bit. Basically, the Jeremy Kyle show was, I was going to say is but was a daytime TV show where Jeremy Kyle, the vulture-faced fucker, walks through a procession of bewildered, barely educated poor people and then berates them for making bad decisions in their lives. That's basically it. That is the premise of that show. And the whole show used to hinge on the lie detector test. Not admissible in court, by the way, lie detector tests. But the whole show, I think they used to bill it as having a 99.9% chance of being correct and a 0.1% chance of being wrong. So they fucking link these people up before the show and ask them, like, a procession of questions about whatever problem it is they've got. Usually it's like fucking somebody else or stealing something or any sort of like poor poverty-related crime that they might have done, which the audience can be outraged against. The fucking... If you ever went to a Jeremy Kyle recording, by the way, you are a fucking asshole. So, yeah, it all hinges on the lie detector test, which, yeah, as I say, is like decided by... I think the result was basically decided against how much of a reaction it would get from the audience. And then after the lie detector tests come out, they get bought out by one of Jeremy Kyle's little minions in a fucking Jeremy Kyle polo shirt. And... in a little envelope, and then Jeremy Kyle would look onto camera whilst he opens the envelope and brings it out and then looks, and then he would ask them, you said you didn't fucking fist fuck your sister-in-law. Well, according to the lie detector test, you lost your fucking watch up there. That was basically it. That was basically it. And then he would proceed on berating and shouting at the guests until they either, one, ran out of the studio, or two, they tried to fight him. That was basically the result of every lie detector test on the Jeremy Kyle show. Either they'd run off in a huff, in which case he would follow them and continue to berate them backstage, where the camera crew would follow him as well, just so they couldn't get away. You know, it was the old fight or flight for most of the people on there, and if you flew, you got followed. And then if you did actually turn around and try to fight him, one of his big bouncers, who were employed to, by all accounts, from what I saw, to look after cunts, would intervene and protect him. And then he would continue berating you with a large bouncer in between you, so you couldn't even take a fucking swing at him. He's a fucking arsehole. I'll tell you what it was like. What it was like watching that program. It was like watching that bit in Braveheart. Do you know? You remember that bit in Braveheart where the landowner gets rights to the first night of a newly married bride, and the rich landowner came over. He was English. I know, we're portrayed badly in films. Very badly, English people. We're always the villain or something like that. And the rich landowner came over and took the married bride off to give her the old prima nocta, which basically means he gets to fuck her on the first night. It was like watching that. That was the Jeremy Kyle show. Only the bride's pussy was the guest's self-respect, and the landowner's cock was Jeremy Kyle's own self-importance. Then after that, after all of this, after Jeremy Kyle had come in his pants a couple of times about how great he fucking was and left the guests looking like cunts on national TV, they'd shuffle out Graham. Graham was like the beta male, grey-haired guy. He looks like he barely had a C in A-level psychology, but he had a goatee beard. So you trusted him to look after. And he was like the aftercare for the guests. So they'd shuffle Graham out as a nod to the fact that they might care about the mental health condition of these fucking guests after Jeremy Kyle's just ripped him a new arsehole. And he just sort of like sat side on to the camera, clutching his hands and looking concerned when it was... and then it was basically on to the next poor old fucker who'd shuffle out, and then Jeremy would fuck him up the arse as well. Jesus Christ, it was a fucking shitfest of a show. But it's over now because a guest went on the show and a week later killed themselves. That was it. That was it. All of a sudden, because that's happened, people have drawn the line under it and went, oh, actually, I don't think this is actually good for the guests who go on there. Really? Really? Not good for them. Not being made to look an absolute fucking fool on national TV. It might affect their psyche a little bit. Oh, really? And that's happened now, is it? After fucking this show running for years and years and years, suddenly some geezer has topped himself and the show's been pulled. I know what you're thinking. I think Graham might have fucked up a little bit there with the old aftercare. Don't beat yourself up, Graham. We all have bad days at work, son. We all do. We don't always do our best. Graham might have just thought, oh, fucking hell. I gave him a hug and listened. That'll do, wouldn't it? That'll do. It might have been a Friday or something. Graham's thinking about the weekend, having a barbecue with his family. He's not really paying attention and then just sent the guy off. Yeah, you want a rope? Yeah, it's B&Q are doing offers on them down there. You fucked up Graham a little bit there. But the guy's dead, and so is the Jeremy Kyle show. The hounding of the poor is over. To be honest with you, people say suicide is a waste of life, but not in that case. Not in that case. I know it's awful. I know it's horrible that somebody's killed himself, but on the other hand, the guy's had a positive effect on TV scheduling. A positive effect. That guy should be given a posthumous award for increasing broadcasting standards in this country and taking that shit off the air. They ought to just have like an hour's worth of silence every day in the time slot that was, where we can all just sit and reflect about how we fucking judge people. I know I'm judging people now. My hypocrisy has no bounds. I know that. But I hated it. I hated it. But I tell you what, I ain't going to lie to you. I still fucking watched it. I did. I still fucking watched that program. Like we all did. Yeah? Because it made you feel a little bit better about yourself, didn't it? To watch a multi-millionaire bear-baiting poor people. I'm not going to lie. It made me feel a little bit because, you know, I'm not going to be a hypocrite about it. Like everyone in the press was. Oh, this is awful treatment. This is disgusting. We all knew it was. We all know it is. The first rounds of things like Britain's Got Talent and all those sort of shows where they shuffle out the weird and the deluded and we all look at them because we love looking at people make a cunt out of themselves on TV. Don't we? That's why those internet fail videos and that sort of thing are so popular, because you just love, because you're thinking to yourself, thank God that's not me. Thank God that's not me. And you get a sort of like is it Schadenfreude? Where you look at car crashes and you slow down and you rubberneck. You're essentially just rubbernecking a car crash by watching those TV programs. That's it. But we all do it. We all do it, don't we? We love that. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pitch that. I'm going to pitch that idea for a TV show. Celebrity suicides. I know. Go with me here. You get a group of celebrities in a house and you just humiliate them and break them down until one of them eventually tops themselves. You leave ropes around. You leave like a car running with a hose pipe like in there. You know, you give them options about ways to do it. 1,000 paracetamol on the side. You do that. They win the show. And if they top themselves, they win the show. And then their corpse does a year's sold-out theatre tour, and all revenues go to the bereaved family. What better entertainment could you have? That is perfect Saturday night viewing right there. Gradually playing like more and more Radiohead like into the house, and you just get weak, deluded celebrities who want that last little pitch of fame. That's the way to go out. And that's what people will say. It's what they would have wanted. They would have wanted to commit suicide on national TV with their head in a fucking oven. Oh, Jesus. That's what it's going to come to in the future. It's going to go like that. It will. I know they've got rid of the Jeremy Kyle show, but they'll just replace it with something worse. And why not that? Why not have that sort of viewing at 10 o'clock in the morning on a weekday? Just after This Morning or whatever programs are on before that. And then you go straight into that, and then you have the news at lunchtime, and you can get on with your day. I'm not sure that's going to happen, but I'm trademarking that right now, that idea. I said it first right here. 20 years' time, we'll be watching shit like that on TV. Anyway, let's move on from that. This has been a bit suicide heavy today. Jesus, Ben, bringing it down with your fucking dark shit. What you been up to? What have I been up to? I hear you ask. Since Tuesday, since I last spoke to you. Wednesday, Thursday, I had gigs. Thursday, fuck me, man. Wednesday was really nice gig for Jay Handley in Moseley in Birmingham. It's a nice... I said about it on the last podcast and it was a sweet gig, but Thursday was fucking... It was a nice gig. It went well, but Jesus, it was a hell of a journey, that was. Barrow in Furnace it was in for the guys up there, Sam up there, and it's a 4-hour drive there, a 4-hour drive back. I was booked initially to be opening it, and then I think the headliner dropped out. So old Benny boy got pumped up to headliner, which was nice. It was nice to headline that gig. But like it's a fucking 4-hour drive, and on the roads, it's the 50-mile-an-hour zones. They just take it out of you on the motorway, where they're doing roadworks, but they ain't doing roadworks, are they? They've just slowed you down to 50 mile an hour just to hold you up a bit, just to get that money, isn't it? So if you average speed camera at about 56, they can go, right, you, 56 mile an hour. We're going to get some money out of you for doing that, even though the motorway is 70 mile an hour, but we're going to just have 50 for this bit, where we're not really doing anything because we've slightly narrowed the lanes a little bit. That's it, isn't it? They don't trust you. And they just want your money to pay for the rest of the repairs. That's what it is. That's what they're doing. They're just ripping you off. They're charging you for speeding so they can complete the rest of the fucking road. That's it. And when they've got enough money, they'll do another little bit and then move it up the country. That's it. That's all they're doing. They're just fining us for that. I don't know what the fuck our taxis go towards. I thought they were meant to go to the roads, but it seems to be like a private little money-making scheme they've got now just to complete the road systems with fucking speeding fines. So that took ages. 4 hours to get up there. 4 hours back, and I was dying at the end of that journey. Absolutely dying when I got home. I literally got in the door, had a pee because I'm like 42 and needed like that because I think the last time I pissed was about an hour before, and my bladder seems to be as regular as clockwork at the moment because the older I get. So, yeah, I had a pee as soon as I come back. Oh, no, you didn't need to know that information, people. But it builds the scene for you, didn't it? It builds the scene. So, and then just like collapsed into bed. I was absolutely shattered after that. But the actual gig itself was lovely. Really nice. A few wanky little alpha males in the audience. You get that. You get that. People who seem to just, want to test you a little bit because, like, they're probably the funny one in their group, and they think, like, because they told a joke once, because people are afraid of them, and those people laughed, that they can do fucking stand-up comedy. So I had to bitch slap a couple of them. But apart from that, it was all right. It's a very weird thing with the alpha male thing. Like at a gig or something like that. They think like you're coming in and like pissing all over their fucking duvet or something like that. Marking your territory. I just want to do my thing, man. All I want to do is go on stage, do my material and fuck off. I don't want to have to deal with, like, your fucking weird ego issues because somebody else is holding the audience's attention. So I had to deal with that a little bit. There was a table, and that's the weird thing. I was saying this to another act the other night. That's the weird thing about it. Once you put them down, then they want to be your fucking mates. And that's even worse. To me, that's even worse. I'd rather just, like, they didn't say anything and just listened and laughed at the appropriate moment rather than, I'd rather they hate me rather than try and be my mate afterwards after I put them down or something like that. But that's the worst thing, where they try and be your mate. I hate that. You seem a bit antisocial, Ben. Yeah, a little bit. At times. I am a little bit, yeah. But it was a nice gig. And now I've got a few days off to get a few bits done, do a bit of decorating. Got to decorate the old bedroom, so that's going to be nice and interesting for a few days. So I've got a few days off to get some stuff done before my next gig. I mentioned last time on the podcast, I mentioned I'm single. Fucking hell. Again, 42, Ben. Can you not find somebody in 42 years? No, apparently not. Apparently not. But somebody messaged me. Why don't you, have you tried internet dating? No, that's what they messaged me. No, I have not tried internet dating. I will not try internet dating because I know it's meant to be socially acceptable now to internet date and go on there, but I'm not doing it. And this is the reason why, because I'm not a fucking weirdo. I'm not going to join the catalogue of the unwanted online. I'm not going to do that. I've got a little bit more self-respect. Plus the fact, a lot of that internet dating is based on physical appearance. I am not that easy on the eye. You know what I mean? It takes a little bit of time for people to get I'm not that easy on the eye, and I haven't got a great personality. You know what I mean? I'm a little bit harsh, a little bit fucking brash. So it's not easy to come across nice to people. And you have to take a fucking interest in them as well, don't you? I'm not, my ego's out there, people. I do a podcast, I do stand-up comedy, you know what I mean? I'm not particularly massively interested in other people if they've just got a normal job or something. So it's difficult. It's difficult for me to fake that as well, fake that interest. Oh, you do that? Oh, that's amazing. I'm just going to go to the toilet. Okay, let's start the car and get the fuck out of here. Fucking hell. I remember a date like that years ago. I went out for a date with somebody. I met her at a club forget what it was, but I met her one night at a club, a place called Chicago's that used to be on the Market Square in Northampton. And I met her there, and I remember thinking, she's really nice. I must have had a few drinks the night before, because the next day I met up with her. She was nice. She looked good. She looked nice. But as soon as I got there and turned up, this is the thing about little things with people. They can just put you off completely. I turned up for the date, and she greeted me with, "Hello, babes." Like that. "Hello, babes." Jesus, I instantly went, oh, fucking hell. I need to get out of here. She was a woman, by the way. Just a bit of a gruff old voice, but hello, babes. Jesus. Quite an alpha female there, sweetheart. I'm not sure we're going to get on, And I spent the rest of the time just thinking, can I leave yet? Does this look bad? Can I leave that table? It's been 5 minutes. I must be able to leave now. Fucking hell. So, yeah. Somebody told me the other day, I was talking to somebody the other day, like another act, who will remain nameless because he did material about this, and it was all right. It was all right material. I liked it. But he said he went on a second date. His second date with his girlfriend was a threesome. What the fuck? Was a threesome? Does nobody just go out for a drink anymore? You know, try and get to know somebody without getting somebody else involved? Fucking hell. A threesome for a second date. What's the third date? A gangbang with the parents? What do you do? Jesus, how do you top that? You know, you're peaking too early there. Surely. Getting somebody else involved. Oh, I really do like you, but I think I might need another vagina involved in this. You know, that might cement our relationship. Act as a little go-between between us. Jesus fucking hell. Nobody's honest on those things anyway, are they? Nobody's honest on internet dating anyway, are they? I like walking and cooking. How am I meant to relate to somebody who likes walking and cooking? That's what I want to know. You know what I like? I like judging people and assuming people are twats. That's my hobby. That's what I like doing. I like winning an argument and holding a grudge. That's one of my favourite things. Gives me that self-importance that I crave. So thank you to the person who sent me that message, but internet dating is not for me. Thank you. I'm all right at the minute. I'm all right. I'm just taking things easy, concentrating on the podcast, concentrating on getting a few bits written. That is pretty much my time for this episode, for episode 4. We've hit half an hour already. Thanks for listening, guys. If you like the podcast, give us, as I said last time, give us a rating on iTunes. 5 stars is great. Any lower, go fuck yourselves. Just 5 stars is great. Also, give the Facebook page a like if you like this. The handle on that is at the Ben Briggs Podcast. I know, it's all original. Somebody slated me for that the other night. That was on Thursday night. Rob Mulholland, top bloke, was emceeing. And I told him about the podcast. And he pitched it from stage and then said, what's the name of your podcast? And I went, The Ben Briggs Podcast. And slagged me off for having unoriginal ideas. But, you know, it's all in the name, isn't it? Okay. So I'll be back on Tuesday. Have a great weekend, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I'll speak to you then.